Welcome to UC Today with me, David Dungay. I'm here today with Martin Flick, CEO of Onecom. Welcome to the show, Martin. How are you doing?
I'm fine, David. Thank you. Thanks for inviting me on.
Excellent. So, Martin, it's been fascinating watching the evolution of Onecom, of late particularly. I'm really interested in some of the big M&A activity going on over there at the moment. But before we get into that, for those of our viewers who might not know who you are or who Onecom are, can you give us a bit of an introduction to the company and yourself?
Yeah, so Onecom is a UK-based provider of initially mobile telephony, huge heritage in providing mobile to SME and enterprise customers in the UK, based down in in Whiteley on the south coast. You can tell how often I'm not going to the office at the moment. I've forgotten where it is. Based down in Whiteley. Business was founded by Darren Ridge and Aaron Brown back in the day, and has grown significantly actually through organic growth, but also through acquisition, and has made some significant acquisitions along the way. And then developed the proposition from being not only Vodafone's leading partner in the UK channel and provider of core mobility to many customers, but also expanding into IP telephony, hosted voice, connectivity and other services. And then back in 2019, private equity firm LDC invested into Onecom to supercharge the acquisition drive, if you like. And so that commenced during 2020 and initially started with the acquisition of Glamorgan Telecom, followed by Nice Networks. And then Darren approached me as the CEO of Olive, who I would have described and do describe as being friendly competitors to Onecom. We were in a slightly different part of the market. We'd focused more on enterprise cloud and contact center, albeit we had a big mobile base as well. And we discussed the option of bringing the two businesses together. The management team at Olive at the time were thinking about a management buyout anyway, so we were already in a process to look for new investment. And we agreed in the autumn of last year that bringing those two businesses together would be a sensible thing to do and create a bit of a powerhouse, if you like, in the channel, bringing together those distinct sets of skills, but very similar cultures and culturally aligned organisations with high ambition, but complementary skill sets and scale. And in the background of that acquisition was also discussion ongoing with Nine Group about the acquisition of that business as well, which took place just a few weeks after the Olive deal.
Excellent. Well, let's talk about those recent deals. I mean, first of all, M&A at the best of times is fraught with challenges. It's not an easy process to go through. In the midst of a pandemic, during lockdown, I mean, how was that process for you?
It was challenging at first, for sure. I think we initially talked about launching our management buyout in the back end of 2019. We'd appointed advisors, we'd discussed with our board and our shareholders, and we had a clearly defined outline of a plan. And we were due to launch in the early part of 2020. So our advisory firm were working with us to put together the information pack, etc. And then just as we started to get out of February into March, it started to emerge what was going on in the world was real and it was global. It wasn't just limited to certain territories on the planet. And that led to a couple of things, actually. Firstly, we made a decision at that time that it would be wrong to launch prematurely on the basis that the economic impact was yet to be established and the length of the prevailing conditions were also yet to be established as well. So we just didn't know how long lockdown was going to last. And we pushed pause on our process because of that, but also because at that time, rightly, our focus had to be on the protection of the well-being, health and safety of our employees and our customers. And so we put a lot of focus effort into that. And we spent that early stage last year working remotely, as we all did, really quickly. You know, we were able to invoke our business continuity plans. We all moved away to working from home, hunkered down, got on with looking after our customers, protected the mindset and the well-being of our employees. Similarly, Onecom were doing very similar stuff under their own steam as well, as you'd expect. And that created a bit of a pause period. And then we got into probably the end of the spring, and we could see that things were going to start to ease. And we launched the process in earnest then. But nevertheless, throughout the whole time, we worked remotely. So with our respective advisors, with our respective accountants, we started talking to potential investors. And then Darren and OneCom came along, as I said, at the end of the summer, early autumn. And we decided to go exclusively into that process with them, and then spent most of the winter and right the way through Christmas working on the deal. And it's fair to say, the proof is in the pudding. Actually, we managed to transact what is a great deal for all parties, but it took longer than you would anticipate. It was unusual by virtue of the remoteness. It helped that there were some pre-existing relationships that were established, of course, but nevertheless, it was challenging. But it goes to prove that when you've got high-performing teams on all sides, you can achieve success in whatever the prevailing conditions are.
Yeah, well, that's fantastic to hear. So, on the acquisitions themselves, obviously, Olive, which you came across as part of that deal, and more recently, Nine Group, I believe. Tell us a bit more about the thought process behind those deals. Were they purely sort of complementary deals about scale, or is it about skills? What was behind those deals, and what is the sort of the vision, I guess, with the newly established OneCom?
So a number of factors, actually, David. In terms of the Olive OneCom piece, two friendly competitors, both working in a similar way in slightly different parts of the market. Our concentration was in the more complex kind of provision of solutions, with cloud telephony, contact center, omni-channel capability, started to introduce a bit of AI. We started to develop our own cloud managed service platform, which is a single pane of glass, allows customers to consume services from multiple providers, all hosted in the cloud, and manage those services in a very intelligent way, but with agile commercial kind of construct underlying that. And with some AI and automation that introduces efficient ways of management of things like moves, adds, and changes. And so we were developing that whilst the OneCom team were busily growing through acquisition and building scale and developing their capability in non-mobile revenue and growing their non-mobile revenue base with their Gamma Horizon relationship and other services sort of that are adjuncts to mobile. And bringing the two businesses together achieved a number of things, actually, but largely it accelerated the benefit of what we now refer to as OneCloud, being that aggregated management platform across a much bigger scale of customers really, really quickly. And with more adjunct services provided within that cloud service that makes it much more relevant for all customers, small, medium and large, actually. So we can talk to a much more diverse audience of customers with market-leading brands like Vodafone and Mitel and Microsoft Teams integration into hosted voice, etc. All of the things that are really relevant to companies that want to work remotely and with some flexibility and enduring agility, probably, even as we come out of the situation that we're in. And then if you think about the Nine Group acquisition coming along in short order after that, that brings a distinctly different component part to the business and to the strategy, which is access to 450 really solid partners. And so we've got a direct route to market business in the OneCom brand, and we've got an indirect route to market business in the Nine Group brand, which we will keep separately, albeit they'll be part of the same group and are part of the same group, in fact, and will benefit from our combined scale and our kind of supply chain scale and economics, if you like. But having been in this industry myself since 1998, I really understand the value of what partners can bring, because I've been one all of my working life in this industry. And with that, you get access to even more scale, geographic reach. You get access to closer proximity to customer need and a more boutique and personalised service that you can't achieve single-handedly when you're a big carrier or a big network operator. So our view is that that brings to customers, to end customers, something that's more valuable than the sum of its parts, really, which is market-leading global brand, tier one capability from our strategic partners, some really smart tech that we've developed ourselves and we own the IP on in our OneCloud platform, and then added to that a great sales engine across direct and indirect routes to market that really understand the market and provide customers with outcome-based benefits, not technology, in a time when that's what people really, really need. So the story really resonates with customer demand.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that channel piece as well. Channel's very close to my heart also. I'm really interested actually in your thoughts on the future of the channel. We've seen a lot of channel partners do phenomenally well over the last sort of 12 months or so from the situation. What does the future hold for the channel in your eyes, and how do you think you'll approach that moving forwards with your quite a sizable channel now?
Yeah, look, I think evolution is the key to that, and it depends. Not all partners are equal in terms of size, scale, or ambition. There are some partners out there that are coming to the end of their career cycle, if you like, and see the base and the valuable business they've built as a bit of a pension fund, and they may want to cash in on that at some point in a not too distant future. And then there are new entrants to the market that are highly energetic, highly ambitious, that want to grow, that want to scale, that can't necessarily forge relationships of any great substance with the big carriers themselves, but nevertheless have got ambition and have got real a desire to provide services to customers that add value. The key for us is that in all parts of our business, we have to put customer excellence at the heart of it and deliver simply brilliant customer experiences. And I think partners do that by virtue of the fact that that's one of their key points of differentiation. To your point, when you work with a partner, you get a more personalised service, a better understanding of your specific needs, and you can then supply to customers services that otherwise would be considered off the shelf by the big, the giants of the industry, but that are delivered in a solution that's got nuance to your own requirement as a business. So I think the future's bright for the channel, to not steal someone else's strapline. But I think it depends what you want as a partner, really. But for us, we've made that move strategically because that's a route to market we see as being hugely important in the future.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned differentiation there, Martin. That has been a problem in the channel at times. There's a lot of products in the channel that partners have access to that do similar things, and we've seen in some areas of the market a race to the bottom on price, and that's been difficult to combat for some partners, and others have done it actually remarkably. Combated that remarkably well. What are your thoughts on differentiation generally? How are Onecom tackling that?
There's a massive distinction between focusing on price and focusing on value, first of all, and focusing on customer need and requirement and flexibility. Customers want flexibility, they want agility. We're going through turbulent economic times, undoubtedly. And as we go through that next phase, there will be, as I said earlier, some winners and some losers in that. Some organisations will want to scale down for periods of quiet time when things are not going as they would expect. Others will see opportunity emerging at them really quickly, and they'll want to scale up quickly, and they need their technology to scale with them and to provide an ever-changing set of needs for them as a business. If you look at 2 years ago, how many people had heard of Microsoft Teams or Zoom versus today? How many people are not using the mobile device sitting on their desk to make and receive voice calls because they're using a software app to collaborate over video? But of course, they're going to want to integrate their telephony platform in their office with that collaboration tool at some stage and leverage the benefit of that, and then harness that on their mobile device as well at a time when they start to emerge out into the world and go and physically meet people again. So there are, as you rightly say, a whole host of products and services out there that customers can benefit from, and it can be a confusing landscape to pick from. So I think the way we differentiate is to help customers navigate through that landscape and through that minefield to make the right technology decisions in a way that they can be integrated and optimized quickly and efficiently and securely. That also helps their employee base with all of the things that we need to consider now that people are working at home. Working digitally can be quite invasive and intrusive, and you can use those tools to manage well-being and health and well-being for your workforce as well as for your customers and customer experience. So the way we differentiate is on a number of fronts, really. One is to align ourselves to customer challenges and customer problems and sell outcome-based solutions, not technology for the sake of it. So that's a point of differentiation. Commercial agility and flexibility is a key point of differentiation. We want enduring long-term relationships with our customers and with our partners to have with their customers. but they don't need to be rigid in terms of commitment to a particular technology or a particular product type. The relationship should be where the commitment lies and the longevity and the tenure lies, but the flexibility needs to be there in what is a really fast-paced industry and a very changing environment. So flexibility is key. I think then development of some of our own IP. I've talked about OneCloud and harnessing the power of AI and automation. We've got some customers, fairly small customers, and some quite large customers that we're now providing virtual agents for in their contact center. There is an embedded chatbot in the solution that allows customers coming in via a website, for example, to engage with the chatbot in a way they probably don't even realize it's a chatbot, so that the chatbot can distill tire kickers out of the equation and only put genuine prospect customers through to human collateral so they can transact. And taking that technology and providing that in a way that is integrated across what otherwise would be multiple disparate technologies like mobile, like hosted voice, etc., is something that not everybody's able to do, nor able to do well. And then it's the simple things, David, providing customers with a single service wrap and a single management layer across all of those services, so they've got one, for want of a better phrase, throat to choke and one place to go in the event of a problem. And they've got someone that can work in partnership with them to drive their technology strategy to ultimately achieve their own objectives.
It's absolutely, certainly an exciting time for everyone, I think, at the moment, and the rate of technology innovation and evolution, I think, is superb as well at the moment. We're seeing lots of new things come to market. So Martin, tell me, the next 12 months as you look ahead. Obviously, you've just come off the back of some big acquisitions. I'm sure there's lots going on still with those. What are your thoughts on the next 12 months? What are we likely to see from Onecom first of all, and then what are you excited about in the marketplace as a whole?
Okay, so I think the next 12 months we've conducted some fairly sizable transactions. It's a consolidating market. There are other opportunities abound. We've got really solid resources and good backing from our investors. So we have resources and the means to conduct more acquisitions when the time suits us and when the right deals come along. So we're not ruling out more acquisitions. In fact, we will be looking for acquisitions along the way, but for the right deals. We want to work with people that are like-minded, that are coming from a similar cultural position in terms of their organisational approach to staff and customers, and that are going to complement the overall solution that we've got. We're not looking just to buy scale for the sake of scale. So I think we'll see three core things, actually. Some further acquisition, but in a controlled way. We will undoubtedly see some organic growth. We've got a solid pipeline of opportunity, and our direct sales team, remarkably, I've got to say, even during the thick of last year in the summer and the depths of the lockdown, we were still winning deals. We've got opportunities where we've closed out on one fairly meaningful cloud telephony and contact center solution deals with customers we've never ever physically met. So, engaged with the customer, gone through the needs analysis, gone through a competitive environment, won the bid, gone through legals, negotiated that, signed the deal, delivered the deal, and moved it into in-life support without ever physically going to customer site and without them ever physically coming to meet us, which is an achievement in itself. And we're looking to continue to drive that kind of sales pipeline. So we've got a strong pipeline, and we're looking to expand some of what we learn there to help our partners do the same. Again, we're all hopeful that we're coming out of lockdown, but it might be that as we get into the back end of the year in the darker months, we have to experience another period of restricted travel, but it shouldn't restrict our ability to do business. We've learned from that and we've proved that. So solid pipeline, organic growth, more acquisitions, and investment in our OneCloud platform. The harnessing of that platform in itself brings huge benefit, not only to our customers and to our internal workforce, but also to our supply chain as well. Starting to integrate everybody's ecosystems through API integration to provide customers and staff with a single pane of glass as a management tool, we think provides super efficiency. What it also allows is for customers to make choices about the services they want to bring to the cloud without being hamstrung. So they can choose their connectivity provider. They can choose which badge they want on their hosted voice telephony platform. They can choose what voice recording service they want to use. They can choose which mobile network provider they want. They can choose which kind of connectivity, whether it's ISDN or SIP, they want to bring into their solution. And they can turn it on and turn it off on a subscription-based consumption model that is cost-effective and agile, all hosted in our cloud platform. So we'll be developing that service further because we think that's a game changer. So they're the three areas I think we're going to focus on. And for me, I'm looking forward to bringing together three teams across three brilliant businesses that have got a combined talent pool that I think is the envy of the industry, and having some fun along the way, work hard and really enjoy the success that we're going to achieve together.
Excellent. Well, I wish you all the best, Martin, and I hope you do manage to get your teams out into a pub garden near you in the not so distant future.
Yeah, we will be doing so very responsibly.
Excellent. Okay, well, look, Martin, thank you very much for joining me. I think that's a great place to end today's interview. It's been fantastic to speak to you.
Yeah, thank you very much, David. I really appreciate the invite.
And thank you for watching. You've been watching me, David Dungay, on UC Today. If you like today's conversation, please give us a like and a share on social media. That's it from me. I'll see you next time.